Station Security Officer Velnara had seen many peculiar things during her 12 cycles, manning the scanners at Gateway Station Tertius. The sprawling commercial hub attracted species from across 4 galactic quadrants, each bringing their own customs, cargo, and occasionally, chaos. But nothing had prepared her for the alert that flashed across her screen that morning. The scanner had detected 3 Class V predators moving through Concourse Delta. Her 4 eyes widened as she studied the readout. Vexarian stalkers, apex predators from a death world in the Outer Rim, capable of rending durasteel with their claws. Her mandibles clicked nervously as she reached for the emergency containment protocols. Then she noticed something odd. The predators were small, juveniles, perhaps no more than 8 standard months old, and they were moving in formation following something. Velnara adjusted her scanner's resolution and nearly dropped her datapad. A human was walking ahead of them. The human appeared to be a female, wearing simple civilian clothing and carrying what looked like supply containers. She moved with the casual ease of someone on a routine shopping trip, completely unbothered by the 3 predators padding along behind her. The stalkers stayed close, their 6 legs moving in synchronized rhythm, their sensory tendrils swaying as they tracked her movements. "Command, this is Scanner Station 7, Velnara said into her comm, trying to keep her voice steady. "I have a code vermilion situation in Concourse Delta. 3 Vexarian stalkers, juvenile class approximately, stand down. Officer Velnara." The response from Commander Thex was immediate and unusually calm. "That situation is already flagged in the system." Velnara pulled up the security database, searching for any alerts associated with the human's biometric signature. What she found made her inner eyelids flutter in confusion. Clearance level. Omega subject. Dr. Sarah Chen, Xenobiology Research Division. Special notation. Authorized Guardian of Specimens, VX7719, VX7722, X7721. Standing directive. Do not interfere. Do not approach. Do not initiate containment protocols. The notation had been signed by the station administrator himself, along with representatives from the Galactic Preservation Council, and curiously, the Terran Embassy. "Commander, I don't understand," Velnara said. "The database says she's authorized, but these are Vexarian stalkers. They're Category A predators. How is a human?" "Just monitor and report, officer. Those are your orders." Velnara watched her screens as Dr. Chen stopped at a vendor selling synthetic meats. The 3 stalkers immediately sat, their multiple legs folding beneath them with surprising grace. One of them made a soft chirping sound, a noise Velnara had never heard a stalker make. Dr. Chen reached back without looking and scratched behind the creature's auditory ridge. The predator's tendrils curled in what xenobiologists would recognize as contentment. This was impossible. Vexarian stalkers bonded only with their pack. They were known to attack anything that came within their territory, showing no mercy and certainly no affection toward other species. Yet here were 3 juveniles behaving like domesticated companions. Throughout the concourse, other species gave the group a wide berth. A family of Grellan merchants scrambled over each other to clear the path. A Korthian trader dropped his levitating cart and fled into a shop. Even a massive Drengar, a species that prided itself on fearlessness, pressed against the wall as they passed. Dr. Chen seemed oblivious to the panic rippling around her. She purchased several containers of food, then reached into her bag and produced 3 smaller packages. The stalker's attention locked onto her movements with predatory intensity. She unwrapped the packages, revealing what appeared to be processed protein cubes, and tossed one to each stalker. They caught them midair with snapping jaws, then resumed their contented sitting position. "Good babies," Dr. Chen said, her voice picked up by the audio scanners. "We'll get you home soon, babies." She called apex predators babies. Velnara accessed the human's file, searching for an explanation. Dr. Sarah Chen, age 34 Earth years, specialized in predator psychology and cross-species socialization. She had been on Gateway Station for 6 months, having transferred from a research facility on Earth, where she had apparently done groundbreaking work with creatures humans called wolves and tigers, whatever those were. The file noted that Dr. Chen had requested permission to raise 3 Vexarian stalker cubs, whose pack had been killed by poachers. The cubs would have died without pack bonds. The Galactic Preservation Council had been skeptical, but humans had a reputation for doing the impossible when it came to other species. They had agreed to a trial period. That was 5 months ago. According to the progress reports, the Cubs, designated VX7719, VX7720, and VX7721, but apparently named Mako, Storm, and Nova by Dr. Chen, had bonded completely with their human guardian. They responded to verbal commands, displayed protective behavior, and showed none of the aggressive tendencies toward other species that wild stalkers exhibited. Well, not much aggression anyway. A drunk Plavian stumbled out of a bar and lurched toward Dr. Chen, reaching for her with unclear intentions. Before Velnara could even activate the intervention drones, all 3 stalkers were on their feet. They didn't attack. They simply positioned themselves between the human and the threat, their bodies low, their tendrils flared, and their throats producing a sound that made Velnara's translator crackle with warnings about subsonic frequencies. The Plavian sobered instantly and scrambled away. "At ease," Dr. Chen said quietly. The stalkers relaxed immediately and returned to her side. Velnara watched as the group made their way toward the residential sectors. Other security officers were reporting in, confused by the same scene playing out across multiple zones. Commander Thex patiently explained the situation to each one, his tone suggesting he had done this many times before. As Dr. Chen's biometric signature faded from Velnara's screens, she sat back in her chair and considered what she had witnessed. Humans were relatively new to the galactic stage, less than a century since first contact. They came from a death world, Earth, where they had somehow become the dominant species despite lacking natural weapons, armor, or significant physical advantages. Now Velnara understood a little better how they had managed that feat. Humans didn't just survive their world's predators, they befriended them. They saw a creature designed by evolution to hunt and kill, and their first instinct wasn't to run or fight. It was to see if they could make it family. The galaxy had spent millennia trying to understand what made humans dangerous. Most species focused on their technology, their strategic minds, or their stubborn refusal to surrender. But watching Dr. Sarah Chen walk through the station with 3 apex predators treating her like their pack leader, Velnara realized the truth. The most dangerous thing about humans wasn't that they were predators themselves. It was that they could convince other predators to follow them willingly. Velnara made a note in her log. Routine scan, no action required. Then she added a personal observation that would never make it into the official report. Humans remain terrifying. Recommend continued observation and significantly more safety margin in all interactions. Outside her window, she could just see Dr. Chen in the distance, 3 juvenile Vexarian stalkers trotting happily at her heels, heading home for what would probably be dinner and something humans called belly rubs. The galaxy, Velnara decided, was a much stranger place than she had ever imagined.